Peter Herbert is a retired judge and the former lead counsel at the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. Peter, you'll give me your reaction anyway. I don't even want to ask you. I just want to read you. Here it is. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, has condemned the court's politicization and abuse of power, he says, and its illegitimate judicial overreach. Benjamin Netanyahu says it's a firm measure against the mendacious smear campaign against Israel. Now, go for it.
Thank you for inviting me. I mean, the Trump administration has all the hallmarks of a rogue state. If one talks about illegality, if one talks about a lack of accountability, the United States administration currently fits all those criteria. They are unapologetically a supporter of genocide, of crimes against humanity, ethnic cleansing and starvation, not only now in Gaza, but on the West Bank as well. And so therefore, their penalties against judicial officers are unheard of. And so, for instance, if anybody else in the world were going to have sanctions against members of the United States Supreme Court, they would be apoplectic. But it is a ridiculously punitive measure, which is purely weaponizing the United States administration. And actually, if anything, knowing some of these individuals and the characters they are, this will reinforce their ability to have judicial independence and oversight, and America will not escape the criticism and scrutiny of the International Criminal Court or any other of the international mechanisms which hold governments and, sadly, people like Marco Rubio, Donald Trump and his administration to account.
Peter, can the ICC hold a trial in absentia? Would Benjamin Netanyahu or Yoav Gallant or indeed an American soldier who served in Afghanistan have to be present in the courtroom?
No, the International Criminal Court has the power to do so. There are cases in the ICTR, the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, where there's a residual mechanism for those who were not apprehended under warrants. They can be tried with certain safeguards in absentia. They are provided with counsel and they are given the full opportunity to defend themselves. But let's be clear, neither Netanyahu nor any American soldiers who allegedly committed atrocities in Afghanistan are willing to stand trial or to have themselves held accountable before the International Court. And therefore, if they don't wish to, then fine. The trials can go ahead in their absence. And in fact, there is precedent for that in virtually all jurisdictions.
Vladimir Putin was recently on American territory, and of course neither Russia nor the United States are members of the ICC, nor I believe China or India. So not surprising that the Russian president wasn't arrested when he landed in Alaska. But in terms of the ICC seeking justice and investigating what's been happening in Gaza and the occupied West Bank, especially since October the 7th, 2023. What are your hopes, I suppose I could say, that justice will at least get a chance to have its say, whether there's a delivery of any punishment being a different matter?
I think justice must be seen to be done, and it will take place, whether or not Israel or the United States or even Russia wishes to see that, and they will be held accountable. And therefore they do care because they have an international image, or what's left of it. And let's be clear. I mean, if we turn the clock back to the Warsaw Ghetto in 1943-44, the actions of the Third Reich are on a parallel, sadly, with the actions of the State of Israel. And therefore, the ability to put those leaders on trial in Nuremberg is something which did leave a legacy for justice and future generations to learn from. Sadly, the states who do not sign up to the ICC, and in particular the State of Israel and the government of the United States and Russia, have shown themselves beyond and outside of the limits of international law, but they will not escape. And there will be international condemnation. There will be a full examination of the facts, and let people around the world judge for themselves, and particularly in a sense in the Muslim world, which has not has been as forceful as it ought to have been. Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt in the condemnation of the United States and Israel, and it ought to have been. Words are not enough. You have to implement sanctions. So let justice flow, let it speak, and history will record the atrocities of the Israeli government and the connivance and support of the United States and Russia.
Peter Herbert, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.